Monica has to have brain surgery at the start of episode 7, and even though the operation is a success, it's not a certainty that she will fully recover. She wakes up after a while and she's able to speak and understand what everybody's saying, but her left leg and foot in particular are not working, as she's having motor skill issues. For example, she cannot use her spoon effectively. Not only that, she also looks confused at times, like she cannot comprehend where she is and who she's with, so she keeps asking the same things a few minutes apart. Casey is barely holding it together, and it's not clear if Monica's situation is permanent or if it can be fixed. The best scene of season 1 is also in this episode, as a bunch of tourists trespass on John's land. They're endangering themselves by observing a bear up close, and by the way, Casey had a run-in with this bear in episode 6. Anyway, what makes this scene my favorite from season 1 is John's attitude toward the trespassers. They tell John he should share his land because it is massive, and John implicitly tells them to F off by firing his rifle in the air, and they all disperse. Walker, Ryan, and Jimmy are tasked with leading this bear away from John's land, and Walker does so by using a rope. Later on, Rip heads out to the forest with a gun, but instead of finding the bear, he encounters a couple of tourists about to fall off a cliff. Rip has his rope with him, of course, but he can only pull one of them. The woman tries to put the rope around both of them and she falls to her death. Her boyfriend can use the rope to save himself now, but with the shock he just suffered, he chooses to die with his girlfriend. Then all of a sudden the bear shows up and Rip has to shoot it because it charges at him. Rip tries to contact the sheriff after getting back to the ranch. Nobody at the sheriff's office picks up, and that is that for now. John is dealing with his own health problems while Monica's at the hospital. He gets an MRI and he needs another colonoscopy within a month. His rough physical condition isn't helped by the fact that he feels alone. Casey is dealing with Monica, Jamie's busy with his AG race, while Beth is out and about doing Beth things. None of them are with John at the Stockman's dinner, and there's a great scene where he just looks at his table and he looks at other tables, and you can definitely sense how isolated he feels. He tells his children that there was a shift in the room because he was alone and that the governor didn't pay any attention to him. John ends up sweating like a horse back at the ranch and he throws up blood, which disproves his claim from previous episodes that he was completely done with cancer. At the very least, the cancer has re-emerged. We mentioned that Beth and Jamie were busy with other matters, so let's dive into their storylines a little bit. Jamie is running his Attorney General campaign with Christina. She worked on the Obama campaign in 2012 and she has been with the governor and the Attorney General of Montana for 5 years now. And because the current AG, Mike, is stepping down and supporting Jamie, Christina works with him now. Jamie tells her that the only thing he cares about is power, which he will use to protect his family and other families like his. Christina appreciates that, and these two have an undeniable chemistry. As for Beth, we have another flashback about her. This time we get to see why her mother was so tough on her. When Beth started becoming a woman, her mother Evelyn gave Beth a talk, saying that she'll treat her different now because that is exactly how the world will treat her. Evelyn wanted to make Beth more of a man than most men are. That's how Evelyn's mother raised her, and Evelyn continues that tradition. Back to the present, Beth is having trouble riding Casey's horse and Walker gives her a hand. She relaxes, so the horse also gets calmer and Beth is overcome with joy, because previously she thought she couldn't do anything right, which is related to how her mother treated her. She goes on to focus on Paradise Valley and we see her making a bunch of calls, indicating that she's fully focused on this turf war now. After giving an ultimatum to Dan about their potential partnership, Rainwater visits the res school to talk to the kid who hit Monica. He claims he didn't intend to hit Monica, but Rainwater says he'll be charged with assault or even manslaughter if Monica dies. Rainwater becomes visibly upset after visiting the school as he wonders if his grand plan to buy back every piece of land on the valley will have a considerable impact on the lives of the people of the res. That does it for episode 7. What are your thoughts on this one? Leave your comments down below, like this video if you've enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe for more movie reviews and TV show breakdowns. That's it for now, take care and see you in the next video.